What's good? It's your boy, Christian Mez, in the cut. I already know what's going on. Before we get into the video, obviously I gotta hit y'all with the obligatory... Let me just do it, because I'm gonna have to do it again anyway. If you like the video, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Show some love, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm out here putting myself on the line for you, okay? I could be asleep. Do you know what time it is? I'm out here doing this for you. I did this for you. The like, comment, share, subscribe, it would really mean a lot. Turn on that notification bell so that you know when we've posted something. Let's get right into it, baby. Coronavirus. Y'all, this whole thing it's been wild. I remember when this all started, like the time from when it started to like where we are now feels like an eternity, but it was so quick, it's unbelievable. Like from the time that we first heard about the virus to now, because like when did the virus first emerge on the news? The first documented outbreak in the last, the one that matters, the one that we're all talking about right now, was recorded in 2019 December. So like December 2019, that was the first recorded instance of that outbreak happening. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you have no idea what the subject of today's video is. Today we talking about the shiver me timbers. We talking about the goddamn rona. Motherfucker, we talking about coronavirus! The coronavirus. Given the fancy name of COVID-19. That shit sounds... COVID-19 in theaters. Not the drink. The coronavirus as we know it today is a respiratory, almost like pneumonia-like virus. That's the best way I can describe it. If you want to know more on that side, you can Google that. Because I'm not a biologist. I don't know anything about virology. Is that pathology? The study of viruses and sicknesses. Plagueist. You know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, it's a virus that attacks your respiratory system. It originated from Wuhan, China. It's not something to be messed with. It really isn't. If you get it, it's not fun. The virus has a mix of human and bat DNA within it. So, scientists are assuming it was a result of somebody having a Bat Mac sandwich, eating a bat soup, Batman. But it could also be a retrovirus. And for those of you who don't know what a retrovirus is, I'll give you some slack. That's some crazy stuff altogether. A retrovirus is a virus that has an RNA sequence in it that it takes and, alters your DNA. So pretty much a retrovirus can change your DNA. Yeah, and so that could be what COVID-19 is. It could be that. In fact, HIV itself is a retrovirus that affects the part of your genetic sequence that, controls your ability to fight foreign diseases and stuff like that. But yeah, it started like way back in December, but I didn't really hear about it until I want to say February-ish, January, when the hype was getting to its peak. When I first heard about it, like many other people, I didn't think it was all that serious. I thought it was just a bunch of what's the word? Hypochondriacs. There we go. I thought it was just a bunch of hypochondriacs blowing it up way worse than it should be. I was wrong. But that's what I thought in the beginning, because in the beginning the cases were rare and few between them, you know what I mean? You heard about it in the news, people were talking about it everywhere. Oh my goodness, coronavirus, oh my goodness. It was sort of like that Zika thing that happened 2 or 3 years ago, maybe. The whole Zika virus is if you had the Zika virus and you gave birth, your baby would come out with no brain. There's some crazy ish, or the head would be the size of this guy's. It was wild. But in the beginning, nobody really took it seriously. People were still interacting normally, doing stuff like that. But then it hit. And when it hit, it was real hard. But even when it hit though, when something hits and it's just oh damn, shit, it was a lot more serious than I anticipated, but still not as serious as it could be. I was still COVID-19, I don't give a god damn about no COVID-19. I don't care if he COVID-65. I'm squaring up. Come on. Put come on, man. But it moves so fast. First it was 100 cases, 1,000, 500 cases, 5,000 cases, and worldwide there were millions and millions of cases. The worst part about it is it started breaking out to the point where it was like, okay, I see a pandemic on the horizon. Maybe we should do something about it. North American governments did nothing for a long time. I can give credit to Canada because we took care of the situation fairly quickly, but the US, how y'all gonna let a whole orange govern your country? See what happens. Y'all let this dude take care of everything. Now look, y'all the ones with the highest rate. You see your life. See now what y'all doing. Now you got all this. That's crazy. Look at these stats. That's wild. Trump was late to the game, is all I'm gonna say on that. Done. But it was crazy. Like the onset was actually fairly quick to give, just to be fair, it was quick. It happened so fast. But I think it was just because like it happened during like major travel season. It was like in the winter when people were going places, trying to escape the cold here in Canada or wherever it may be, going on family vacations, visiting other family members. It was a really bad time for a pandemic to happen. Towards like the peak of it is when people were trying to get back home because they realized that it was going to be a pandemic, thus spreading it even more. So it really took no time at all for it to go from COVID-19, call me when you turn 25, to being something like the blankets, got the toilet paper. That whole toilet paper thing was so dumb. And you can't even blame it on like, oh, one of the symptoms could be diarrhea. No, one of the symptoms is not diarrhea. It's not. If you got diarrhea, it's from something else. I mean, to be fair, your body could handle certain things differently, but diarrhea was not one of the symptoms. I don't know why this corona thing was going. You eating that much food that you're gonna be shitting that much? You're gonna be dropping deuces that much? And then when people had the toilet paper, they were playing games with it. I saw somebody tie it to a fan and stood under it and had it going around in circles. You dare challenge me? Really? That's what you bought it for? Not gonna lie, some of them were pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie, they were pretty creative. People get creative when they're bored, Before long, we were in quarantine. Quarantine hit like boom, and that's when we all knew it was not a joke. You weren't allowed to see your family, go outside. God damn it, they got you in your backyard. That's a bullet. Quarantine is still oh, we still in quarantine. Oh my god. Oh, why is it so small in here? It's getting so small. Let me out. They put so many restrictions on us. Stores closed down. People lost their jobs. Like, you couldn't even see your friends who you interacted with every day. It was your immediate family or the people you lived with. And that was it. It was terrible. And the way they enforced these laws in some places, India, they was wildin'. They had policemen patrolling the streets, beating people with sticks. They would go to mosques, and if you were in a place of worship, gathering with many people, they beat you. In the presence of God, they would beat you. In the presence of God. Like they would hit you. They don't care. Are you at home? So y'all want to praise the Lord. Bet you can praise him in person. It was wild, and everything shut down so quick. People were losing jobs. I feel bad for people who really, really depended on their job to, especially people with children. I would get on edge sometimes during this quarantine thing. When I was on edge, I'd be like, don't talk to me. Imagine being in a situation where you're with a violent person or an unsafe situation, and you're in quarantine, that person gets annoyed. That's terrifying to think of. I wish, oh wow. That's crazy. But that's not even where the quarantine struggles end. Quarantine should have came with a warning, I swear to God. Symptoms of quarantine may include but are not limited to loneliness, boredom, overeating, crying excessively. Like when they tell you, when you hear about quarantine in movies, like they make it look so intense. Oh my God, quarantine, everybody's so blah. But quarantine is literally 25% eating too much, 25% not doing much of anything, 25% crying over things that you took for granted when quarantine wasn't there, and 25% other activities. Like, it's whack. In the early stages of quarantine, you know, like many other people, you didn't know what the hell to do. You weren't allowed to go outside anymore. I wouldn't really go outside unless it was like to do, you know, important stuff that needed to be done. Stuff for West, or, you know, going to a doctor's appointment or something like that. But I had a choice to stay home for extracurricular activities, you know what I mean? Now, I have to stay home. Like, you can't tell me, you're trying to tell me I can't go outside and breathe? I can't breathe? Like, motherfucker can't go outside and one time. That's what you're saying? And I feel bad for extroverts. Extroverts got the short end of the stick on this one. Introverts are loving this. It's like, yo, I didn't want to talk to y'all anyway. But extroverts, y'all, trust me, I know the struggle. Like you just want to go and, you know, hug people, but you can't hug nobody. You gotta keep them to yourself. Yo, for a lot of people, that's the worst part of this whole quarantine thing. Not being able to hug people. That's crazy to me. Man, you don't miss outside food? I miss outside food. Shit, I miss Popeyes. Fuck. But like social interactions, wow. And like, yo, dating is such a joke now. It's so funny. So a lot of people before the quarantine, they would say, oh, I didn't really get it past the texting phase for a lot of my interactions. But now, the whole relationship is the texting phase. Few spitting game. Spitting game during the quarantine must be so funny. Roses are red, violets are blue. My lungs work fine. Will you be my quarantine boo? I love you. Spitting game is a whole other situation during this quarantine. Like, there was a lot of dating apps that I read about that switched from the just like generic texting to incorporating video calls. And I've heard some wild stories about these video call dates. It's crazy. Damn. But I mean, some couples were already on that energy, you know what I mean? Like, you got that video going on, you know what I'm saying? And it honestly got to a point where people didn't want to be at home so much, like they hated this so much, that people started figuring, hey, we gotta be together, you know what I'm saying, hanging out, but we can bring our cars in our parking lot and open our trunks. They can't say nothing because I'm not in your house. We in my car, you in your car. It works. So people started doing that. The people who killed me the most during this, just like, killed me in like a, wow, you're so dumb. You annoy me so much. Just like celebrities. Celebrities really... Yo, celebrities were crying during this quarantine. Crying. Like some of these celebrities with an endless amount of rooms in their houses filled with things were just like crying about being stuck in their house. Girl, you live in a pavilion. You live in a mall. Shit, go to the side of your house you never visit. Like, it's crazy. Like these people in massive houses, even people who didn't live in massive houses, like celebrities who were more low key. Like, you're still a celebrity. You probably got an overabundance of money. You could buy something to, you know, fill your time with. Or practice what you do. The people I saw like crying about quarantine the most were like influencers and like people who are just, you know, faces, you know what I mean? Like faces who have a lot of, you know, credibility behind them or whatever you want to call it behind them. Just faces, people who did that. But the people who, you know, really took advantage of this and really like, you know, thrived off of this were like creatives, actors, you know, singers, musicians, people like that. Those people, you know, they complain and be like, oh, I miss my friends or whatever, but they were doing something about it. But you know, people who are like in their big ass houses crying about not being able to go and walk their Cocker Spaniel. It was crazy. Like people were like, oh, I can't get a fucking Mott's Clamato Caesar. Like, come on. There were some actors who I saw who were just like making it a big deal that they were stuck at home. Oh my goodness. Practice your acting. I've seen a couple of your movies where you weren't that good. Practice crying on cue. I can't cry on cue either. I want to become an actor, but I can't cry on cue. That's crazy. But it's crazy. Celebrities were really bugging during this time. It was mad. It made me laugh, really. But honestly, like, there were so many things that I took for granted before quarantine started that I was just like chilling. I'm just like, wow, I miss grass, man. That shit was crazy. I got a nice carpet, but goddamn. Grass is like a carpet that grows by itself, cleans itself. Shit, man, I miss wind. That's crazy. Wind. That's. Okay, wind was cool. Wind was real cool. You know? I miss dirt. Like, there were so many things that I took for granted before, you know, quarantine started, and then now I'm just like, do you know how much I miss pho? Like, wow, I miss pho. I'm starting to think I had a problem. I miss pho so much. Popeyes too. Oh, But I did finally have Popeyes like last week. Oh, it was so worth it. So worth the family-sized meal that I ate by myself. Going to the mall, seeing other people besides my family. Wow. Like, I love my family, but I want to see a stranger. You know what I'm saying? I miss taking public transit. That's a lie, no I don't. But you know, I miss the stuff I saw on public transit. And you know what? Psych, you thought I was gonna say I miss it. You're at your goddamn mind. But so many things we took for granted. Like, just going to the mall with your friends. Like, I'm the type of person who, like, when I go somewhere, or if I have established plans, I want to get those plans done in the, you know, the way that we did it. Like, if we're going to the mall, I want us to go to the mall and do what we were supposed to do at the mall or whatever, you know what I'm saying? If plans change randomly, I get I hate it. It irks me. I think it's because I had strict parents, and like, if I was going somewhere, I want to go somewhere because I have like the whole timeline plan. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be there and then be home at this time so I don't get my ass whooped. So it was just like ingrained into me. But if we go somewhere, I like to do it. Being in this quarantine, honestly, if you wanted to go to the mall and you were like, shit, let's go to Banff on a hike, god damn, let's do it. So many things I took for granted. I'm pretty sure a lot of people took for granted, and now it's just like, wow.
You're just like me. Trash!
But you know, the strict, stringent quarantine laws didn't last for that long. They lasted for about 4 months. 3.5 months. They lasted a couple months, okay? But recently they started like opening up. They're doing things in phases. So like phase 1 is, you know, like, oh, you can go on walks and shit. Like, if you want to breathe air, you can do that. Go outside. Don't step off your lawn though, or shoot you in the face. Good time. And then there was phase 2, and that's when they opened up like small businesses or whatever, and you know, all that stuff is going on. But yeah, they started opening things up, and it's been pretty chill. Like, it's not as bad. That's how I got my Popeyes. You know, they started opening up like food restaurants, but you can only do takeout. So you have to like, so if you're going to a place where you normally eat inside the establishment, you have to like call in advance and be like, yo, I want steak. And boom, there you go. You go pick up your steak. It's probably gonna be cold by the time you get there, but shit. Steak. But yeah, that's how I got my Popeyes. Places like Popeyes, McDonald's didn't really struggle with that. Yeah, they started opening up hair salons, nail salons, places like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, now places are opening up. But just like people do, some people are taking this as, hey, did you hear on the news that they open up malls and some stores and stuff like that, you know? Quarantine is completely over. Let's all congregate at the beach. Pass it. Second wave, let's go. The second wave has already started, like hundreds of people. New cases are coming up. Like, why are people like, I don't understand. But people are abusing this whole phase 2 opening things up again. Because before long, I'm almost certain we're not even gonna make it to like the final phase before we're like, okay, back to quarantine, y'all. Oh, fuck that. You gotta go back inside. If I see you breathing outside there, I'm gonna get my stick. People don't understand that, like, you still gotta, you know, respect each other's distance. I had somebody, but I'm not gonna lie, there was some instances where I didn't respect the thing, saying I didn't do the thing. Like recently, due to like all of the BLM stuff that's going on, there have been like protests and marches across, you know, the planet. People trying to get awareness out for basic human rights. And so there were like protests and marches and huge gatherings, and I was at them. So like that's one thing. But I mean, sometimes you gotta do something for the greater good. But going to the beach and having a barbecue with the whole squad, shame on you for having fun. Save me a burger. But it's crazy, like people, like there's like photos of people on the beach, and I'm not saying like small pockets of people like on the beach. The whole beach, people all over it. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And there's this thing where like you can be asymptomatic to the coronavirus, so like you can have it, not know you even have it. And it's dangerous because the people who are most susceptible to the coronavirus are the elderly and children. And if you don't know you got it, and you go to visit your nan, like it's game over. Here lies your nan. It's done. So like we need to chill. We just need to relax. Relax. Take it easy. But yeah, this whole experience has been wild. It can't be foreseen, but damn. Like I feel like we gotta handle this a lot better. I'm just saying. Do what to handle it better? I don't really know. That's not my area of expertise. But it just feels like, you know, we could have done something. But what's done is done, and we just gotta live through it. See what happens next, you know what I'm saying? But thank you for joining me on this video. I know it's kind of weird. It's kind of like all over the place, but you know, that's how it is. At least we stuck to the topic. Mostly. But before you go, you know what I'm saying? If you like this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Turn on that notification bell so I know it's real. So I know it's real. But for real, it really means a lot when you guys interact with the videos and lets us, me, and let the whole team know what you think or what you want to see. Then we're gonna have a variety of different content. It's not. Wow, that's the sound of my brain ceasing to function. All major functions. But we don't want it to just be this chaos. So if you like what you see and you want to see other things, be sure to comment it. Hit us up on our social medias. So this is all of our social medias right here. You know what I'm saying? Follow the whole team, follow the page. Go show some love and let us know what you like to see. I want this video to get 120 likes. Let's do that. 1,000 views, 120 likes. I have been your host, Chris Mez. I'll catch you guys later. Pow.